Ninjas somehow managed to top one of the WCQ qualifiers this year. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So for this WCQ qualifier, we actually have two Tenpai Dragons. Now, since we're looking at more of the OCG style of meta developments here, the fact that we even have Tenpai, well, actually Tenpai Dragons have been running the OCG as of late. I don't know how many of you have kept up with the more recent OCG results, especially looking at some of the early data, but holy crap, we have had so much Tenpai Dragon running around. Like, the deck definitely is starting to hit some of the check marks for the future list. Now, honestly, the fact we had two Tenpai Dragons in the top cut, and they didn't actually win the event. Both of them were actually seated in top 8, which is kind of interesting. So, well, you know, you do have this deck being a little bit more of a menace. The fact that it was able to dodge, though, I think is pretty interesting. Now, we also had two Runic builds. Now, the most interesting thing to me about seeing Runic here is they still have Fountain at frickin' 1. All right, that you're telling me that these builds are basically finding ways to adapt, and that's crazy to me. Even with one frickin' Fountain, even with all of these floodgates in their current iterations, these decks, these Runic stun piles are finding success out here. That, to me, is just mind-boggling. You know, we don't have the Runic problem that the OCG is really starting to develop over here, but okay, I didn't expect to see that. Now, the Fiendsmith issue out here. Now, there were two decks that were using the Fiendsmith piles. The first one is Fiendsmith Snake Eye. Yes, who doesn't love the fact, you know, you've already got this very strong pile deck that's able to, you know, already go through the crazy Snake Eyes lines. And you're able to toss in the one card Fiendsmith package to just open up the doors. It's kind of crazy to see the stupid power that you could get with that. And of course, the actual Fiendsmith menace, the fact that, you know, Fiendsmith Yubel actually won this event. I'm genuinely impressed with the idea that this deck has the ability to, you know, toggle through the craziness that you actually want to see in your standard meta. We also had a Centurion deck out here. Now, I'm also very, very surprised to see that the current build of Centurion doesn't really flash too well in the OCG, but it is enough that, you know, you're able to put the pressure on your opponent and just no King Calamity at the end of the day. And we also had this Ninja Challenger showing up out here, which I think was the biggest surprise to me. Actually, Ninjas getting the chance to sit at the dinner table in a top 4 finish. Absolutely amazing to see. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. Winning this event here is actually your standard Fiendsmith Yubel build, where you're building in the one Tractus, the triple of the Fiendsmith, and of course the one Lori. A nice little 5-card package, because guess what, you know, you're literally able to access most of this because you just full link combo in. One Nightmare Throne turns into a Phantom Yubel, which guarantees, you know, you're not going to have to deal with any hand traps for a majority of that turn, which, you know, is pretty solid. Actually, the fact this deck is also playing Summon Sorceress is actually really cool. Summon Sorceress kind of, I personally thought took a major backseat. We did see it in 1 or 2 Unchained builds in the very beginning of, you know, the card kind of coming back, and then it just went dormant. But the fact that it's back at it again is very good. And I also see we have the Curry Photon in here starting to show up as a pretty cool tech choice out here against the Tenpai Dragon Menace. Paying half your life to not actually lose the game is very, very good. Now, we have our Fiendsmith build as well. So you're telling me both the Fiendsmith builds both managed to find their way into the top cut, first and second place? Yeah. Also, once again, kind of shows, you know, how stupid this pile can actually be. Also, we are playing the Mini Goddess. Yeah, 2 monsters, sticking them together, getting the chance to make the Mini Goddess, and the Mini Goddess allows you to unlock the doors and go down full Fiendsmith combo. The Mini Goddess, I think, is the real reason why this deck gets the chance to shine. Post side decking down here, you do see we do have a Kurikara. We also have a copy of Rise to Full Heights down here, and we are also playing the Fucho, the little bird that could. Also, this Rise to Full Heights card has been seeing quite an interesting amount of play. I am actually very surprised to see people have been, you know, kind of messing around with the ideas that you can bring to the table with this. So cool stuff to actually see here. Now, our first Runic build here, sporting off nice straight 40 cards. I'm actually very happy about that. I do like 41, but this is good. We're actually relying on the Inspector border in this build. Your big takeaway with relying on Inspector border, you don't really have to deal with a lot of the craziness that you would with the rest of the meta. Having that border being a very easy normal summon deploy and being able to, you know, kind of control your opponent out of the game is very, very good. We're also relying on Triple Dimensional Fissure here, which I also think is a must. We also have the double Organism in here as well. Organism is such a very strong card right now. And the fact that, you know, we've had to bump it on into the main deck, once again, I'm not all that surprised. You definitely have to rely on these cards, or, you know, you're going to lose the game. That's why Floodgates, while they're very detrimental to the game and they can be an unfun experience, their presence is so needed right now. Now, we also have this Ninja pile, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was shocked to see this. You do see that we do have triple Destructive Daruma Cannon in here as well. I can guarantee you that card was MVP for a lot of these matchups. You also have the built-in Super Polys in here. We are doing the one green Ninja, which is fine. There's the triple Mitsu for the interruption that we're used to seeing. We do play one of the field spell in here. We are also maximizing on the ninjas that you need down in the extra deck. We do play the one Pot of Prosperity for the filtering, the one instant fusion. Actually, it's pretty good for bringing out our ninja frame. We also do have the double Kaiser Coliseum in here. Basically, ninjas can also do the little gridlock play in here, where your opponent makes an attempt to kind of start setting up or attempting to, you know, do some sort of board. And you're like, no, my ninja. It is my ninja way after all. There's really, this honestly does look like a pretty standard ninja deck, except for the Destructive Daruma Cannons, but you do need tech choices like that in order to play the game. Alright, we also have more Runic Stun for you. This build is sporting off the double Kaiser Coliseum. I'm not all that surprised to actually see the double Kaiser being a major clutch in this deck, especially if you deploy, what, like a Hugin, and then you have the Kaiser set up. Your opponent's kind of forced to look at that and try to find some sort of out to it. Honestly, I think it's one of the major reasons why you can steal game. This build's also playing a Prohibition in here. Didn't exactly expect to see Runic main decking that, but that definitely checks the marks for the interesting things to see. Of course, the one Organism. We are doing the Baguska. Baguska has definitely been one of those cards that's seen a lot of play. Post-side decking, we are playing the one Prohibition in here, and we are smacking around with the triple Evenly, and we also have triple Dark Bribe in here as well for some major, major protection, but most of your Runic Stun builds here look pretty straightforward. I do see our Centurion deck down here now. Now, we are doing... we are playing Pobbler in here. That's interesting. Okay. And, of course, the Jet Synchron. The Jet Synchron actually being able to kind of unlock some of our doors for some of the more interesting plays. I do see that we are playing the double embodiment of the Apophis down here. So, actually having that as an option is pretty cool. Also, the Jet Synchron gives us some interesting number access. You know, we suddenly get access to 9. Is that a free Crocozor that you can actually make? I don't know, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't actually consider being able to, you know, since you've already got built-in access with the bonfires for the Trudea, you know, having the bonfire add into, you know, some of the other lines. Original Sinful Spoils package on into the Jet Synchron. That's actually kind of cool. I wonder if that'll be something that'll stick around, though. Because remember, TCG version is still Calamity Gas Go. And our last list here is our Tenpai Dragon getting 8th place. The 6th place list, for some reason, never got shown, which is fine. We are playing 2 copies of the one when added to hand, free special summon. Do play one of the mini Poke Draco retrain. This build is playing a Delta, a Gamma, and, of course, the Omega. Guess we've gotten to the point that, you know, being able to hand trap your opponent with that is pretty solid. Is also technically a free level 8 if you chose to play it. We are playing the Blackwinged Assault Dragon in here. Card is very, very solid. And of course, we do have an Epsilon down here in the side deck, and you do see the Heat Waves. We also have double Change of Heart. And of course, a Red Reboot. Imagine a Tenpai player just being like slams down the Red Reboot and just attempts to win the game right there. Interesting. Well, what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.